What up, gang of Lane, Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It's about halftime of the noon games. Well, about most of them's at halftime. And, a little bit of what I expected, a little bit of what I didn't expect. The Charlotte, Illinois game's looking pretty good. If you followed my pick on that one, Charlotte's winning right now at halftime. You know who don't look good? The fucking nerds. What? And I made a mistake, and don't ever do this. If you like to parlay games, which I like to do, I like to throw $10, $20 on them and do several of them throughout the day. I had the nerds covering in the first half, and I also had the nerds covering for the game in another one. So that means they just screwed both of them because they are absolutely awful. How can you be this awful today against Pittsburgh when you were lights out last week against a North Carolina team that, yes, this North Carolina team is Jekyll and Hyde, but I mean, you're playing at home. I don't get it for the damn life of me. This team pissed me off. They done screwed me over. Who else? Texas and TCU is a pretty close game. Michigan, Wisconsin. Michigan's winning, just like I thought they would. Well, let me get to the two I wanted to rail on just a little bit right here. Oh, yeah, Louisville and Wake Forest is pretty close, too. It's like I told you it would be. Tennessee, first of all, 42-10. On the road right now, you're beating Mizzou at halftime. They're beating the absolute brakes and soul off of Missouri. And, I mean, honestly, I thought Tennessee would win this game. I didn't think they'd be this dominant in it, but they are. But Missouri's defense is absolutely awful. They are horrible. This is a very undisciplined team, especially to be playing at home and with a second-year head coach that looked good last year. And y'all absolutely look like homemade dog shit. And it's not even close. Now, the Tennessee, this is, on one hand, I picked them in my contest, and I also picked them with several wagers here, so I'm glad to see them winning. And I'm also glad to see them winning because this is exactly where I want them next week when the Gamecocks come to Neyland Stadium, because you think, we went out here and did against Mizzou. We're going to beat you by 4 touchdowns. But let me tell you something. You're still not a good football team. Missouri's defense is just horrid. They're horrid. I mean, we looked at the schedule and said, well, the Gamecocks, well, you're not winning at Texas A&M. That's a given. Well, I'm not so sure about that anymore. They suck. Well, you're not winning in Como. You're not winning in Columbia, Missouri. That's going to be a tough one. They suck. So those games are still toss-ups. I mean, South Carolina could conceivably even lose to Troy today and still make a bowl game, which they're not going to. That being lose to Troy. Troy is a terrible team. South Carolina is going to win against the game, I think, by at least 2 to 3 scores. Then another one I wanted to talk about. Georgia and Arkansas. You know, I took Arkansas. I had confidence in them here. Why I took them, I don't know. Why, I really don't have a damn clue why I do some of the things I do. But I'm going to tell you what. They're absolutely terrible. They are exactly what I thought they were. They're exactly what I thought they were. They're overrated. They are overrated. Texas A&M was not a good team. They beat them. They're not any good. Have they even crossed Georgia's? They crossed the midfield once. The Gamecocks looked better against Georgia than they did. And as a matter of fact, we looked way better against Georgia than they did. Nicholas Center and say, well, Georgia's up for this game, Carolina Jackpot. You know, they was putting 4 stringers in the middle of the first quarter when they played y'all. That's what I think of you, Arkansas, and your fat, slobby sack of shit coach over there on the down sidelines. And the same thing to you, Georgia. Both of you can go eat one. I can't stand you. College football makes me want to beat my head on the wall sometimes. Now that I'm calmed down, I'll see you all later. Peace, and I'm out. Go Gamecocks. Spurs up, toes up, baby. Woo!